It is May 31st, Sunday, 2020. Today, I get to go kayak fishing for the first time in my life. We're gonna go out to Lake Castaic today. We're gonna have a great time. So I got two rods. I've got my medium weight rod, and then I've got my medium heavyweight rod, which is a steelhead rod. I got two spools with me. One of them's got all 6-pound mono. The other has got 30-pound braid, and I've got 10-pound mono to use as a leader. I brought a variety of tackle, guys, just all kinds of stuff. Swim baits, hooks, egg weights, and beads and swivels, so I can do Carolina rig and Texas rig, and we're just gonna throw everything at them and try to find the fish, basically. What depth are they at, you know, just look around at conditions. I learned to fish largemouth bass fishing. It's the fish I know better than any other fish, so if I don't catch some fish today, then, man, I got some rust to knock off for sure. Getting my gear ready to go here. Andrew and Adrian are gonna be out in a few minutes, and then we'll get going. I'm just putting on my other spool. Okay, first time ever on a kayak. Here goes. Well, it isn't taking long for me to fall in love with this right here. Been in the water for probably 15 minutes. Got rigged up. I did a Carolina rig with a 3-inch white grub on the bottom, and above that a dropper loop with a clear speckled 2-inch grub. So I'm on the bottom and I'm a little off the bottom, and I'm fishing light colored stuff because the water looks pretty dang clear. So my plan is just to cast to shallow water and then drag out to deeper water, and then just keep doing that over and over and over from shallow to deep. I'm gonna try to figure out what depth the fish are at. Yo, so I got a tip from one of the fishermen here. He said that he caught 2 bass and they were in about 8 feet of water. So they're up pretty shallow. And so I spotted across the other side of the lake a bunch of brush and rocks. Behind me you can see all the brush. And I was just looking for their food, so I figured they're either going to be eating crawdads or baitfish over here in the brush or in the rocks back there. So I fished the rocks for a little while, now I'm fishing the brush. Sure enough, as I'm fishing the brush, I've seen several fish roll right next to me, right at the edge of the brush. And I look down into the brush and I see a bunch of little baitfish, little 1-inchers. So I'm fishing a little like 2-inch grub with a little 1/8 ounce bullet weight and a little bead. So it's a small bait like the baitfish in here. And I'm just gonna keep working at lightweight. I might drop down from 10-pound test to 6-pound test just to get a little more finesse. So we're just gonna keep fishing and see how it goes. This is awesome though, I love fishing on the kayak. It's a little bit hard to manage with the hands. You can definitely see the advantage of having foot pedals. And one of these days I'll get one of them, but for now I'm gonna learn how to fish like this. This is Andrew from C3 Bait Company. Oh, that something just jumped right there. Something's eating right behind us. C3 Bait Company. C3 Bait Company, what's your website?
It's just on Instagram.
It's on Instagram.
C3 Baits.
C3 Baits.
Find us on Instagram, Facebook.
I just picked up some packs of worms. He's totally hooking me up with like just the right rig. He's teaching me about the right hooks. He's totally setting me up.
Yeah, it's been a good day out here. 12, 14 fish at least.
Dude, you're the only one catching. You're the only one catching that many fish out here.
C3 shimmy.
C3 shimmy.
Finesse baits. 3-inch finesse bait. Watermelon candy. That's the ice pick and Neptune shad.
Cool.
Oh no, that was the watermelon candy shimmy.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
You bet. Nice to meet you, brother.
There we go. That's my first bass in years right there. Let's reel this baby in. It took me a minute to grab my... So I'm fishing here with Andrew from C3 Lures. He totally hooked me up with the right bait, and check it out. Look what happened. There's a largemouth. Check him out on Instagram, C3 Lures. Let's get this guy up here. I've only got 2 hands, guys, so I don't know what I'm doing on this kayak. I'm about to lose my paddle. I think I'll bite my phone. All right, there it is. Oh, dude, success, you know, satisfaction, man. Did it. Got the right tackle, got the right rig, got in the right area. Gotta find the fish, chase them down. So that's a 13-inch largemouth bass, and we're gonna let him go now. Thanks for coming to play. Swim, fishy, swim away. He'll be there. He goes. You just had to wake up. I did it. Let's get another one. This is number 2 right here, guys. I'm gonna reel him in with the phone in my mouth. You seeing that? I hope you're seeing that. Oh, there he is. Six-pound test. Can't muscle him in. Oh hell yeah, dude! Look at that fish. I'm gonna pick him up. There we go. Gotcha. Got him. Number 2. All right, so now's a good time to recap on what it is that I'm doing right here. What's the pattern? What's the strategy that's working? Okay, so number 1, see, I started fishing off with, you know, grubs, like the white grub and the orange grub, and I was using a 1/2 ounce weight, and I was using 10-pound test, and I did not know what depth they were at, so I was just fishing from 2 feet to 30 feet, and just trying to figure out where they were at, right? But what we discovered is that the fish are holding shallow, like 8 feet of water. They're even suspended in shallower water than that because they're busting food on the surface. I saw them eating bait fish. So once I saw them eating bait fish all over around me and a boil out in the surface or out in the middle of the lake, I knew that the fish were swimming around and eating bait fish. I even saw the bait fish. So immediately I was like, okay, I gotta match the hatch. So we came up on some plastic worms that are, you know, 4-inch, kind of clear, light colored. They look like little bait fish passing through the water, right? We got lightweight. We went down to a 1/4 ounce bullet weight. So we're not necessarily trying to stay glued to the bottom. Actually, I think it's better when it's kind of bouncing around. Today would be a good day for throwing some crankbaits, for sure. Had some Rapalas or something like that, some suspending Rapalas, I'd be jerking those around too. Shit, I almost think you could even trail this thing under a bobber, like with 5 feet of line or something like that, and they'd probably be going after it. Or maybe even 10 feet or 15 feet, because as you're towing it, it's not gonna be as deep. But the point is, we went with a lighter weight. We started getting that bait not so glued to the bottom, but a nice long leader, so it sort of floats around and moves around, darts around. We got down with some 6-pound test, and we're fishing the right depth, so that's why we're finding fish. So I just drifted this whole section again in the wind, came up with nothing. When I'm drifting the wind, I'm going a lot slower. I think I'm staying on the bottom a lot more. So this time, I'm just about ready to, I'm gonna get to the buoys over here. I'm gonna cast over the buoys a few times, see if I can hook up with anything there, and then I'm gonna start heading back. I'm gonna start rowing back upwind again and towing behind me, just trolling behind me, which is exactly what I was doing when I caught those 2 fish. I was just starting to troll. So you can imagine the bait was getting picked up off the bottom and it was kind of moving around, swimming like a fish. And that's what you want. We want this thing to just kind of be swimming around randomly, maybe a few feet off the bottom, something like that. So stay tuned. So I've got a question, and I figure I may as well go ahead and ask this question just to see if anybody out there knows the answer. And the question is this: it seems like on every lake that you fish, the bite will be good in the morning when you're bass fishing in lakes. The bite is usually good in the morning time, and then at some point in the afternoon, or at some point like early afternoon, late afternoon, whatever, it just like the bite just turns off, it just stops. Fishermen know this. You hear this a lot. Yeah, the bite just turned off, or the bite usually turns off right around this time of day. Why is that? Like, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, conditions changed a little bit. The sun's high in the sky. There's no shadows suddenly behind everything. Like maybe they were hiding behind the shadows, and then when the sun goes straight overhead, there is no shadows. So then they just like take off and go to deep water. Or what exactly is going on? Is it just that they were feeding all night, all morning, and then the sun got high in the sky and they were just like, all right, we're done feeding for the day, and they just wait till the sun sets before they start feeding again? Like maybe they just like to eat in the dark. What is going on exactly? If you know the answer to this, is it just that conditions change, fish move, and all you need to do is change your strategy and follow that fish and figure out where they went, and you'll keep catching them? Or is it really that they just stop feeding at a certain time? If you can help me understand this a little better, I'd like to know the answers. Thanks. All right, my friends, we're back, and conditions have changed a bit. As you can see, there's a lot less cloud cover, a little sunnier, but the fish haven't changed their behavior very much at all, actually. We're still seeing them sort of suspended, like 5 feet under the surface, around the sticks and the brush, and they're just out eating bait fish, and they're around, so we're just fishing those little plastics. I just put on another little C3 plastic. This one's like almost totally clear with some sparkles in it, and so my plan here is to just drift in the wind or troll with the paddle in both directions here and just cover a lot of water. I'm gonna try to cover a load of water right now and try to come across as many fish as possible. So that's the idea here, is to troll, cover water, try to come across as many fish as possible. Here we go. Hi Rhonda, I want to wish you a happy birthday from out here on Lake Castaic. I'm so pleased with what we've accomplished, and I'm so impressed with what you've accomplished, and I'm so glad that we've become friends. So happy birthday. I hope that you are enjoying today as much as I am. I'm out here kayaking for the very first time in my life. I've always dreamed of doing this. I'm having a great day. I'm catching bass. I'm having a great time. So I hope that your birthday is going wonderfully. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye-bye. Hi Mom, hi Dad. I'm on a kayak, check it out. I'm at Lake Castaic. I caught 2 bass. This is awesome. This is my first time on a kayak ever. I love it. It's everything that I thought it would be. Just awesome. Awesome upper body exercise. And I can just float out here all day long, fish the whole lake peacefully, simply. You know, it's simple, it's peaceful, it's cheap. I love it. Happy May 31st. Happy Sunday. I love you guys. Mwah. Well, not sure what time it is exactly. Afternoon time. But the bite died down hours ago. And we decided basically to call it a day. So we went back to the boat launch, and then we realized we couldn't pee over there, so we went all the way back over to this side to take a pee-pee. And then we decided before we take off, let's go tie up this rope and go cast a line over here for a little while. So we're just casting and seeing if anything will bite. I guess we just like being out here too much to go home yet, so. But this is pretty much the end of the day here. Totally just chilling back, laying back. All I need is the pillow right now. It's freaking awesome out here. It's my own personal little watercraft. Just chilling back. The wind is blowing in the direction that I'm casting, so I only got an 1/8 ounce bullet weight on there, but the wind will carry that bait really far. I'm throwing a one of those little C3 plastic worms that I bought from Andrew today. There we go. That's a good angle there. Doing a real slow retrieve. Just dragging along the bottom. This is great, man. Chilling in the kayak. Totally chilling back, yo. Like, what's up, fishes? Come and get it. You guys, Ryan Gosling.
Can you hear him?
It's almost 6 p.m. and they're gonna kick us off the lake soon. But we're looking down and the water's super clear and we're seeing little bass and little bluegill. And I actually did hook a little bass and yanked him out of the water and then he fell off the hook. But this is the end of the day at Lake Castaic. The lagoon, to be specific. Super peaceful and wonderful right here.